Right then, should we do this, or are people still bidding? Oh, let's do it while they're bidding. I've had a bid come through on email, so hang on, she's gone. Rebecca, there's the email, Avril. Right, there's the email. Getting emails through left, right, and centre. That was a really stupid idea about doing an auction at the same time as doing this. Sorry? Andrew McGregor. Does anybody know an Andrew McGregor?
Yes, that's me.
No, you're Avril, dear.
Yeah, Andrew McGregor's my friend.
Oh, okay, right. Thank you, Avril's friend, if you're watching. He's not, is he?
He is.
Oh, he is. Thank you, Andrew's friend. No, Avril's friend. Yes. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, that would have been a lot simpler, wouldn't it? Right. So, Dram number 366. Ross. John Dunn. Oh yeah, John Dunn's put some bids in as well. So I suppose I better apologise because it was a charity gala thing and you're probably thinking, well, he's not really dressed up, has he? I will in a minute. The reason I'm wearing this is exactly what I wore on Dram number 192. Yes. Yeah, it's just like finished. And weirdly, the ones that I did before, so the 3 I did before this, I was wearing the same shirt as I was wearing when I did Drams 3 and 4. Ooh, spooky. So I knew from day one that I wanted to finish on Ardbeg because Ardbeg, personally for me, has the most meaning as a whiskey and as a distillery. And the reason for this is Ardbeg 1977 was a whiskey that quite literally, no bullshit, no kind of building stories up, actually did change my life because I can still remember the exact moment that I tried it. I was working at Oddbins in Newcastle, Newcastle City Centre, and great job. Some of the customers were a bit weird because it's Newcastle City Centre. We used to get chavas walking in going, "You've got any tabs?" Making cigarettes, to the point where we had to put a sign up on the wall saying, "Need 10s, need Lamberts," because that was all they asked for was 10 Lamberts. Scroach. So they had a wine rack behind the counter that had all the whiskey sample bottles. And when you're working there and it's quiet, or it's a Saturday night and it's about half an hour before you close up, you decide to do some staff training, which is basically, right, what one haven't I had yet? And the Ardbeg 77 was there. Can you imagine having a bottle of Ardbeg 1977 as a tasting bottle? Just like now, mind-blowing. Then, yeah, I haven't had that one yet. And I can still remember being in the shop, pouring it out, trying it, and I can remember just being so blown away by it. I could not believe that a liquid in a glass had so much complexity and flavour and finish and just went on and on for hours. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. And it turned me to whiskey. I was already interested in it with my dad collecting it and things like that, but it was the one that made me realise just how amazing whiskey was and really started my passion for it. I've been extremely, extremely lucky to be given a sample of Ardbeg 1977 by Soren Krebs, who's over there on the fractions table. He has given me those little jam jars that you get with jamming when you're staying at a hotel. One of them with Ardbeg 1977 in. So really went for the packaging name. Yeah, it's got a strawberry note to it, I think. So I haven't tried it yet. I'm just hoping it's going to be as good as I hope it is. I hope it's as apocryphal, is that the word? I don't know. It's as good as I remember. I really hope it's as good. So that was why I wanted to finish on Ardbeg and Ardbeg 10 as the standard version. And Ardbeg 10 is the core version, and this particular sample was donated by one Oliver Chilton, who is sat over there, and this was about the only one that was a core range of the samples that he sent me, with all the other weird stuff. So Ollie, thank you, mate. Cheers for this. Ollie, if you don't know, I hired him when I was the manager of the whiskey shop. We had a Starbucks over the road. He spent more time in my shop than in Starbucks. So I said, I might as well pay you a bloody wage, because I'm sick of you being in the shop, so you can work for me for a change, rather than just sit there drinking samples in exchange for a Frappuccino. So, Ardbeg. Oh, come on, look. That looks familiar, doesn't it? Again, that's the end of the presentation. Is there on this Kildown coast, where arguably Lefroy, Lagavulin and Ardbeg are the peatiest distilleries, not necessarily the peatiest whiskies, having had Optimal the other night, which was borderline undrinkable. In a good way, but just full on. So, that's Lefroy. We've done Lefroy. Excuse me. So, founded by a McDougall family in is it 75 or 15? I can't remember the handwriting. Let's say 15. Although apparently, a bit like Lefroy, we think distilling was going on there for a while. And there was a bit of a healthy community that grew around the distillery, so it had a school and a village school and everything like that. The Hay family took it over. They took over the license in 1853. Oh yeah, so it was 1815. And pretty much they kept it, but they struggled through the recession of the 1920s to the point when DCL, which was Distillers Company Limited, which was a precursor to Diageo, and Hiram Walker took an equal split in distillery. Hiram Walker, Canadian Club, another big sort of whiskey company, took over in 1959. Hiram Walker bought out DCL in 1979, and then a couple of years later mothballed the distillery. Surplus to requirements, don't really need it. It would then reopen in 1989, but it was quite intermittent. It wasn't continual distilling. They closed the malting floors at the same time. It was, it was kind of like kicking and screaming along, but no real commitment behind it. And it was shut again in 1996. Glenmorangie then bought it in 1997. Now, Glenmorangie are owned by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. So it's bags and champagne and things like that, and premium stuff. And all of a sudden, weirdly, Ardbeg started doing releases of like really expensive bottles and limited editions and fancy packaging and all of this lot. And they bought the stock when they bought the distillery. So they were then kind of, there was a bit of a gap in terms of when they were doing this intermittent distilling that didn't give them that much stock. So you either had very young stuff, and in fact Ardbeg did release a range that started off with a very young, which was a 4-year-old? 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Well, there was a very young, and then there was a quite young, and a nearly young, and then a not so young. They did like a progression. And again, they were kind of like getting increasingly expensive. But Ardbeg is definitely a cult whiskey. It's really, really highly regarded. Very, very popular indeed. People swear by it and swear at it because it's the peatiest in terms of there's a standard version. This is the one of the peatiest you can find. According to their website, they only use first and second fill casks. And I think it's bourbon casks for the 10-year-old. I don't quite know why I said I think it's that. But if anybody can prove me wrong, what's am I right? You in the dark as much as I am. So, and again, this is kind of a slightly different smokiness. It's more of it's akin to that wet peatiness of the Lefroy. I keep saying vegetal, but that kind of sounds wrong to me. But it's full on again, but it's a wet, dark feel to it, which kind of ties in with their packaging stuff. It's been a long time since I've had the 10-year-old. How much is the Whisky Exchange selling this for, Billy?
41.45.
Oh, third time we eventually got there. 41.45. Was it something twice? Twice? So yeah, Master of Malt, probably cheaper. Asda? Has anybody got the Asda price for it? Just checking.
That's my local there.
Asda. Oh right. Is it too good for Asda? It's a luxury good. So, well, yeah, but it's Walmart now, so they're going to go up in the world. Lovely earthy sweetness on this. I love this. It's been a while since I've had it, but I still think it's fantastic. Too much for some people. I've seen a couple of raised eyebrows, which is like, Jesus. It's such a lovely, it's the sweetness that gets it for me. Anybody want to shout anything out that they're getting? Pete. Knew I could rely on you. Anybody sensible want to give me anything?
Icing sugar.
Icing sugar?
With a lot of cigar smoke and vanilla extract.
What the hell are you drinking? Icing sugar, okay. Sweetness, yeah. Vanilla. Yeah. And what? Cigar smoke. Okay. Yeah. Hey, look, that's one of the great things about doing whiskey tastings, things like that, is, and I am absolutely guilty of this. I didn't go to the point where I said, you know, you're wrong, but it was a kind of like, really? You're getting that, really? And it's personal, it's all personal taste. That's why, for me, the more interesting stuff is the story behind the distillery, rather than what I think. What I think is irrelevant is whether you like it, whether you enjoy it, whether you can pick stuff from it. My dad's got his hand up. Little £19.50. Little. Are you sure it's Ardbeg? Arthur whiskey, as opposed to Arthur pint. Oh, it tingles. Oh, it's definitely, for me, it's the sweetness on Ardbeg that just lifts it, that gives it so much depth, and it goes on forever. I love the stuff, I really do. 46%, so there's a slightly higher alcohol percentage that's probably giving that tingle around the mouth and lifting all the flavours up. I think it's fantastic. I love it. If it was 1950, little, I'd be there like a shot. So, having had the Lefroy and the Ardbeg, hands up for Lefroy. Yes. Hands up for Ardbeg. Ooh, hands up for neither. I'm guessing that's going to win. You can put your hands up. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You don't like pizza whiskey. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Close run thing, actually. Both. Hands up for both. Hands up for both. Yeah, I knew you would. Just hands up for whiskey. Hands in the air like you just don't care. Right. That is down 366. Bloody hell. Finished. What's next? I need to have a conversation with my wife first, just to say. It has been hard. I've had some conversations with people in the room about. I haven't filmed every night. I have cheated ever so slightly because I've tended to do 2 whiskies on a night and then take a night off and then do another 2, because it would have taken too long to do it literally every night, and I wouldn't get any housework done. And I know Vicky might be watching this now going, you don't do it in bloody housework anyway, but I wouldn't get anything done. It's literally, I do 2 whiskies on one night and then the following night is ironing, giving my wife a cuddle, maybe watching half an episode of Westworld. So I'm going to take a bit of a break because I've got a stack of video games that I haven't even touched yet, and I've got a mountain of ironing to do and everything else. But am I what? My liver's fine. My liver's fine. I'm not binge drinking. Have I done 4? I might have done 4 on one night. I've stuck to my rules. If you watch video 0, it was no more than 4 in one night. I don't think I've done more than 10 in a week, maybe. And I've used these glasses. I'm amazed I've not dropped these. These are the same 2 glasses and the same jigger that I've used all the way through the challenge. I've dropped 1 bottle, which was the Jameson's, and it bounced. So, you know, it's been a bloody miracle that I've managed to get through this. So, I'm going to do a separate video with I'm going to do 366.5 to do the Ardbeg 77. And in that video, I will thank everybody that's been involved, because there's a massive list. There's everybody that's donated, loads of you in this room that have donated samples, which it really was just kind of, I could not believe. I was stunned when, I honestly can't remember if it was you, Jason, or Joe Wilson that was the first package that I got. And it was like, somebody sent me 5 or 6 samples of whiskey of their own collection, of their own free will, for no money in return. Just, oh yeah, I did that with you. Like, yeah. Paying it forward. And it was like, wow, the people around there that do this. And what I found was the whiskey community is so generous and so, you know, just love to talk and are open and really, really supportive. So to you in this room, to make the effort to come here to join me to finish this off, is really, really appreciated and very, very humbling to somebody with admittedly confessed quite low self-confidence and belief in myself. And it's very, very easy to sit in the kitchen in front of an iPad and just rattle off about whiskey and just hit upload and not think about it and maybe deal with some comments from annoyed a Trump supporter yesterday, apparently. That wasn't me. That's not me. That's them. That's them. But I have been bloody terrified about tonight. I genuinely have, to sit in front of you people and talk about whiskies like I know what I'm talking about. But you have been amazing. Everybody that's watching is amazing. Everybody that's donated, that's put comments, that's donated whiskey and money. It's just been incredible. And I would like to carry on. I've done a bit of thinking. I need to talk about it with Vicky, but if I could maybe take a Friday or a Saturday night and film 3, and I carried on doing completely different distilleries and brands, so that it was all different videos.
Crisps.
Maybe not the crisps. Oh crap, yeah, I forgot the crisps. I'm so sorry, I forgot the crisps. It's the one thing I forgot. I got out of camp. Forgot the crisps. But Jason has got some. Jason the Crisp King has brought some with him. So when the food's gone, we'll just line up all the crisps. Crap, Mum, you've completely broken my throat. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, sorry. Bloody parents. Why did I buy them? I didn't, they just arrived. If I can do 3 in a week, and they're all different, I could potentially get to 500 in another year. And I quite like the thought of doing 500 videos that are all completely different distilleries. So, do you think that's worth doing? Yeah! So I'll keep the Just Giving page going, and we'll just see how far we can get. 10 grand? There you go, why not? Why not? So yeah, so I probably am going to take a bit of a break and then see how we go, but I definitely want to keep it going. It's been absolutely lovely for people to say, I'm going to miss your videos, will you keep it going? I've had some people that have put comments on videos saying, I used to just drink bourbon and nothing else, and I wouldn't touch Scotch, but I watched some of your videos, and I've now got a bottle of this, and a bottle of that, and a bottle of the other. And that, outside of the raising the money in the charity, was kind of like, Christ, actually, this is worth doing, because there have been some people that have actually gone, I'm going to try that for a change. And ultimately, that was one of the reasons for me doing it, was to just provide a bit of education and a bit of fun and not try and be too stuffy and a bit too snooty and everything about it. I've learned a lot about whiskey, as you can probably tell. I've learned a lot about myself. But I think we've got a really, really good chance of getting over £5,000 for this charity, which I didn't think, I honestly didn't think we'd get anywhere near. And to finish the challenge and think that that's well within sight, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. So thank you very much. I've just seen you, Sarah, and completely forgotten that I forgot to mention about your fudge. She has handmade whiskey fudge for sale over there, boxes and samples. She makes fudge out of whiskey. How good is that? So there are boxes over there. There's 4 types, yeah. So probably should have said that at the start, shouldn't I? Dessert. If you don't like the chocolate tour, dessert is available. So there's some fudge over there. Sorry, Sarah, I should have said that right at the start. So thank you so much for coming, for supporting, for donating, for getting me to this stage. I'll stop. I might get the table over and then we'll start the auction, yeah? Okay, fantastic. Thank you guys. Thank you all.